over the last few weeks, months and even years, I've been testing some of the best, most forgiving, most affordable golf clubs money can buy. Now we have brands from all over the world offering us direct to consumer affordable clubs. Today I have two of these brands. We have a set of Ram CB irons and of course a set of Lynx CB irons as well. These both look absolutely fantastic. They both have a lovely KBS Tour shaft in there and both of them feature a nice lambkin grip. So those components are premium, the prices are far from premium. Just which set should you potentially be spending your money on in 2025? That's what we're going to try and decipher today. Other notable brands in this category, we do of course have Takomo, we have Cali, we have H now as well, the Australian brand that Rob loves so much. Blimey! So we're going to kick off with the 5 irons here. We're going to go through the sets and just see which ones I think are better. But realistically, I feel like in this price bracket, it's almost just a case of, right, which one do you prefer the look of, which one do you like the branding of? Obviously Takomo are smashing it when it comes to their kind of influencer marketing with the Bryan brothers, with Grant Horvat, with Buster Jack and with all those guys stateside, whereas I feel like these guys are kind of staying a bit more true to that level of marketing. None, pretty much. But that's how they do keep the prices down. So we'll go Lynx first here. We'll hit the 5 irons off this 18th tee and we're basically going to play the hole from a couple of different locations with these clubs. We're also going to talk numbers today as well and see which one potentially might perform a little bit better. Price bracket wise, both of them are very, very similar between that kind of £500, £600 mark, and both of them are a lovely forged head as well. So there's not a lot of technology to go at here, which kind of makes me wonder why the big brands feel like it's okay to offer a forged CB head for like £1,300. It's a lot of money, Bob, isn't it? It's a lot. Right. So we'll aim just up that right side. Lynx head does look really, really nice, actually, nice and compact. And that's a lovely shot to kick off with. Now this is actually the second video that I've done today on these Lynx irons, and I have found them really easy to move right to left. You saw a lovely draw down that fairway there, and there is a little bit of offset on this head that's potentially helping me do that. Do we have that on the Ram? We will discuss it as the video goes on. That was a lovely strike though. I really enjoyed that for the first swing of the video. And again, you can see a carbon copy of that right to left ball flight. So if you are wanting, you know what, they're bang next to each other, aren't they? I think looks have deceived us there, because I feel like they've gone pretty consistently. But as we look down at these, I do feel like the Lynx looks a little bit more premium. Do you? I think the Ram looks like the face components could be a little bit cheaper. Yeah. But all will be revealed in the test. I do like the white line on the bottom, like that bottom groove. It's very PXG-like, isn't it? Yeah, I don't mind that at all. So, how do they compare? It looks really small, this actually. It doesn't look like it's going to be overly forgiving. That sounded and felt really good. Didn't have the draw on it that the Ram had on it, that the Lynx had on it. We've got two animals here, Rob. We've got a cat and we've got what's a ram? Is it a sheep? Essentially, the horns of a sheep, aren't they, Ram? Yeah. I keep getting them mixed up. It's very much like a car, yeah. Now I'm even more confused. Right. Really good start to the video though. 3 really good shots. And that is really nice as well. Let's get down there and see where they've finished. Oh, it caught the bunker, that one. Has that one just got up a little bit and got caught in the wind maybe? So we caught the bunker with the final shot with the Ram, which is quite unlucky really, because it caught right on the edge and it's actually rolled back into the bunker. So I think distance wise they would have been very, very consistent had that have just skirted by the bunker. Now the 2 shots with the Lynx, as you can see, you thought that was a lot further, but it's actually not. It's like 5 yards. And that could depend on like a firm bounce or anything like that. So very, very impressed with both those to start with. I do feel like the Lynx for me, I've had that a little bit kind of better dispersion. You can see there we're like kind of bang next to each other. Is that to do with the offset? Is that to do with the design of the club? We're going to test the 8 irons now and just see potentially which could be the best. But if we have a look at these, and Bob will put some kind of overlays now on how similar these actually look from like bag appeal wise, and like they look so similar from there. It's frightening, isn't it? It's almost like they've come out of the same foundry and factory, Bob. So 8 iron here. We've got 150 yards into this 18th hole. It's a very, very narrow green this, so we're going to have to be accurate, and we also want to make sure we have that nice consistent distance. I do feel like with clubs like this and with the price that they are charging, how good is good, or do they just not have to be bad to be good? To be a good value, to be not cheap shit? I think personally they just have to be not bad. Because if you look at how much you can save and what you could do with that money with regards to lessons or green fees or membership or holidays or anything still golf related, you can really have some fun with the savings that you make. Now, shall I go ram first this time and just kind of mix up a little bit? What do you think? Because, and we might put some kind of images on screen now because this probably doesn't do it justice, but I feel like the ram is trying to be PXG like. Do you get that vibe a little bit? Especially from like down at the ball. Maybe not. Yeah, down at the ball. Bob's staying silent on that one. He's not having anything to do with that, are you? Trying to get a free set of clubs. Yeah. Right, ball's above my feet, so it is going to want to move right to left slightly. And that's just stayed absolutely bang straight out to the right. Sounded fantastic. And that's absolutely smashed into that tree, hasn't it? I think distance-wise, it was pretty good. Right, maybe it's not going to move on the lie then. I honestly thought that had to come back off this lie. Really enjoyed that. And that's a carbon copy. I still feel like oh, that is on the path. That's gone a long way. There's a woman on the putting green and she's absolutely petrified now, but I'm just stood here rifling shots into her. That's a worry because that's gone miles. Like that's literally, I mean, it's took a hard bounce off the surface, so I'll give it that, but it's probably pitched 10 yards longer than what I wanted it to do. With a weak right shot, you wouldn't anticipate that, would you? Right, over to the links. This is where I feel like with the links, and I've been hitting that lovely draw, really, I should be able to aim out there and it want to come back. It's trying, isn't it? Find that gap of the bunkers now. There we go. Bunker. So what we're learning here is James really struggles with awkward lies no matter what clubs you're using. But what I'm not going to do is blame the clubs. They've gone the right distance and I'm really, really happy with that. We're going to aim straight at it, Rob, now, because the distance was perfect on that one. There we go. There we go. 155? Oh, stop it. Now, I'm going to give this round to the links because we've just hit a worldie in there to about 5 feet. But I have to say, I'm a little bit worried with the one that went long from the ram. So let's talk numbers for both these 8 irons and let's just hit quite a few shots, get it going and see if we do see that kind of real big front to back dispersion that we've just seen potentially there. Then let's finish off out here where it truly matters with the short irons, the scoring clubs, and see what you should maybe be spending your money on. Okay, so let's talk numbers for these links and these ram irons. And I think, to be honest, both these clubs do have lots of history in making fantastic golf clubs, but not so much fantastic affordable golf clubs like we do have now. We have 8 irons in both these clubs, so let's see just how these can work. We'll go first with links, then we'll go with the ram and we'll see what kind of numbers we can get. Incredibly similar lofts on these clubs, same shafts, but even similar grips, so I shouldn't imagine we're going to have too much differences here. That was a little bit of a toey one to kick off with. What's that one going to go in the air? We've just done some testing with this. That's such a good effort for the strike I've put on that. We've just tested this club against the H irons that you may have seen that are brand new from the Gold Coast. Very similar ideology, that kind of direct to consumer market. And these performed really, really well against those. I think there's so many fantastic iron options in the market today for people who don't want to spend a fortune. I think we're all winners realistically. That's another slight bottomy one. Is that I'm going to carry 150? If it does, I've got to see. It has as well. 150 on the nose, and that was a proper bottom groover as well, that one. Maybe a little bit more technology in here than what I kind of gave them credit for. You can see we do have That kind of chamfered diamond effect there. Now when TaylorMade put this in their cavity back or even in their blade, they're saying this is mass distribution, this is centre of gravity placement. Links kind of say that, but not really, so really interesting to see. You know what though as well, if you see these in someone's bag, well, how much do you think these would cost, Bob?
They look more expensive.
Yeah, they don't look like a kind of £500 set, do they? So, like if you want to be on a budget, but I don't really care what people would think you've got, but if you do, some people do, don't they? You want to be the guy with the kind of budget clubs, but that's a lovely swing. That should be about a kind of 160 carry on the basis of what I've been hitting. Yeah, 159.6. And I think whenever I can call a shot mid-flight what it's going to carry, and it goes that, you've not been surprised, you've not been shocked, it's not carried on going or it's not kind of come up short. 5-6 spin, not too bad realistically. One more with this and we'll move into the ram. Another slight toey one, that should be about a 151. It wasn't too bad. 152, Bob. See, I love testing these clubs because so often and so many golfers around the world will be thinking, well, they can't hold a candle to Callaway or Mizuno or Titleist or TaylorMade. And to be honest, for most golfers, like I think I'm swinging okay today. There's always going to be a couple of shots. No one's a robot. No one's going to stand there and just kind of button them 155, 155, 155. But if a Titleist or a TaylorMade or a Mizuno can't do that, then you might as well potentially just get these, haven't you? Because they're only as good as the pilot, essentially. I think that's quite an interesting take as well, really. Bob's nodding. Right. Now this doesn't look as premium straight off the bat. It looks a little bit more budget. And that actually felt, I'm going to say it felt good, it felt firmer. Look, that's gone miles, hasn't it? 156. If you like a firm feeling golf club, potentially these could be for you. A lot of people sometimes think that a soft forged iron is the way to go, but I think quite often if you're like a Ping fan, for example, or a PXG fan, they maybe feel that little bit clickier, that little bit firmer. That's not a positive, it's not a negative, it just is what it is. And I really, really enjoyed that actually. I get used to it more. The idea of that kind of firmer head. How forgiving are they? Because that was almost out of the mirror on the toe. 146. So we've dropped kind of 10 yards there already just with that toe one, but that was probably the worst shot we've hit all day, to be fair. That was properly out of there. Would you expect a high level of forgiveness paying this money? I think I'd expect a certain level. Don't think I'd necessarily expect lots and lots, to be honest. That was lovely. They're all spinning around the same number, aren't they? I'll include the H in this conversation as well. They're all around that 5 to 5.5. That has gone absolutely miles. And that's a little bit of a concern. Like, you might think that's nice, but that's carried 20 yards further than the last one. I know the last one was a categorical terrible strike, but 20 yards is quite a lot. I suppose when you go from incredible to incredibly bad to incredible again. That's the heavy one again. It's going to be a 147 again. Oh, not too bad. Personally for me, if I'm looking at these numbers wise, I think the links are that little bit more consistent and they look that little bit more premium. But I wouldn't discount the RAM because I honestly think that for the price, they do certainly do a job on a budget. God, that felt really good again. That's a long one. Let's get back out there and finish this on the course. 118 playing 120. Now this is where with a wedge, I don't think it's necessarily all about distance. It's about can I kind of work that shot in, can I play one down. So we're going to go one each here to finish. And I'll go ram first here. Looks wise, I am going to give it to the ram because I think they look absolutely fantastic. And I do like what they are trying to do with that face. That's bad, that, isn't it? Tell Gaz has had these. Gaz and Al are like the same person, aren't they? Right. Very different. Come on, can we play it in? Land it about 110. Yeah, it did, like I think both of them, to be honest, that's pitched exactly where I want it to and spun back. That's just a really, really good golf shot. But then I think with the links, if you want, these remind me of like a Wilson or a Titleist, you know, like quite mirrored and shiny. Then we do obviously have where the face is a little bit kind of duller.
The Wilson, yeah.
It is very Wilson-y, isn't it? Which is, to be honest, yeah, a very, very good thing. Right, can we play the same shot in? Oh, I don't, you know, now I've said that with the links, I'm regret it. I think this one. Right. Same shot. It's a carbon copy, isn't it? Guys, I think realistically here, the winner is golf and the winner is you and me, because the amount of brands now that are coming out and allowing us to buy fantastic golf clubs at a bit more of a budget price, there's loads to go at. If I was going to spend my money, what do you think I'm going to say, Bob?
Well, I don't really care, but I'm going to go links.
Yeah, I'm going to go links as well. I think just because of the heritage as well. Like I know Ram and Links have both got their own heritage, but for me,
I love the links. They're willing.
yeah, look good, don't they? Links. See you tomorrow.